What's up, folks? This is Nero D Viral. Just got back from watching Thor Ragnarok. Now, this is a spoilers included review. So, if you do not want spoilers, do not listen to this one. I made another video that does not have any spoilers. It also doesn't contain much information, but you know, that's what no spoilers is. Anyway, this will be long enough, so let's get right into it. I'm not going to play because sometimes you cannot hear me at all. Plus, I do these videos with no script, in case you can't tell. So, like I said, it'll be long enough. Any hoodle. Okay, so this is off the top of my head what I remember. Movie opens as you might expect after seeing Doctor Strange and its post-credit scene with Thor and the movie opens up with, this is the spoilers again, so the movie opens up with Thor chasing that, or not really chasing, he's in a cage and it looks like that big monster from the previews with the big red thing that looks like Diablo from the video game come to life. That's the first part. He's captured him, he's in a cage, but Thor's just playing possum, trying to get some information out of the dude, and as soon as he does, snip snap, that dude is dead or neutralized, whatever. Thor straps the big helmet to his back and takes off, goes back home where, if you remember from the Dark World, Odin is not really in charge anymore. It's Loki pretending to be him. So Thor comes back and they're having some kind of play that's basically, you know, making Loki look like a hero, and Loki's sitting there watching it, disguised as Anthony Hopkins, Odin, and Thor pops in, sees through the disguise, gets Loki to admit it, and memory's getting fuzzy because, well, find out. Oh yeah, okay, so they're back there, and then Thor's like, where the hell is Odin? Let's go get him. And Loki says he's on Earth, in an old folks home, which is torn down. When they get there, Doctor Strange, you get the feeling that Doctor Strange is pretty powerful. He just makes a portal under Loki's feet and he vanishes. And then Strange and Thor, you know, have an amicable meeting. You've seen it, it's the post-credit scene pretty much. You know, why are you here? Your brother's a bad guy. What's up? He's dangerous. He's on my list. And Thor's like, well, looking for dad. And Strange is like, well, cool. If I help you find your dad, would you guys take off? He's like, yeah. That's not the actual dialogue, but so he sends them to find Odin, who's in somewhere in the north. I think the Netherlands or Iceland. Anyway, goes to see yeah, he gets Loki out of his falling. He said he's been falling for 30 minutes straight when Strange finally pulls him out of his little, I guess, never-ending fall. But they go find Odin. Odin dies. Yeah, I guess he just kind of says it's my time, I think. I kind of spaced out right there, and he just kind of vanishes. He says his firstborn, is that Hera? Is that her name? The goddess of death, is on the way back, and, you know, said she was too powerful, too evil. He banished her, but she draws her powers from Asgard. She's on the way back. Don't let her get there, you know. I think he either straight up says that or it's kind of implied. She gets her power from Asgard, so you don't want to let her get there. She kind of jumps him on Earth Loki and Thor. They try to run away through their little rainbow warp thingy that messes up the lawn, and she follows them like the bad ship in the second Star Trek, the Khan remake. She follows them through warp, kind of chunks them aside, and that's how Thor gets on the Sakara? Is that the planet's name? Yeah. Oh, the junk world where he fights. That's how he gets there. Loki's there too. The Valkyrie girl, is she black? I don't know. Darker skinned. Girl that gets a lot of screen time. Valkyrie, I guess is her name, or she's a Valkyrie. Anyway, she captures him after a little battle with some not so good kidnappers, and sells him to Jeff Goldblum, who's like the leader of the planet. And they have the gladiator thing, so he fights the Hulk. It's tossed around a bit at first because he's trying to talk to him. Then when they fight, the Hulk's kind of stupid, and Thor's not. He's not stronger than him, he's smarter, and he dodges him and counters him, and 3 or 4 times in a row the Hulk really can't hit him when they're engaged, and Thor does kind of beat his butt. It just happens. He's a better fighter. I'm sure the Hulk could bench press more, take more damage, all that stuff, but you can move your feet and get the hell out of the way. That's a good idea when you're fighting, especially if you're fighting the Hulk. Anyway, so Thor wins the fight, but this is the stupid thing I was talking about. The Valkyrie chick, she's not on his side at first. She captures him, and they put an electric shocker thing in his neck because Thor, the god of frickin' thunder, who's later going to have lightning coursing all through his body, shooting out thunderbolts, which is lightning, he's vulnerable to electricity? Really? Anyway, but I guess Thor, who's holding the hammer with the lightning on it right there, is vulnerable to electricity. Seemed pretty stupid, but it's the audience understands what's happening. It's funny whenever somebody gets shocked and over shocked, but it just seemed kind of dumb. And that's the point. In the end of the fight, you've all seen it. She breaks the hammer. This is the spoilers one. So he uses lightning in this movie quite a lot, and it just seemed ridiculous that he's gonna get shocked by something way less powerful than God lightning. But anyway, okay, so he gets the better of the Hulk, but Jeff Goldblum doesn't want to see the Hulk lose. He's in charge of everything, so he shocks Thor and he passes out. Then the Hulk kind of lands a finishing blow, sort of. While Thor is passed out, Thor won the fight. They had to cheat and knock him out in order for the Hulk to win, or get the victory, whatever. Anyway, so they wake up, kind of recovering. The Hulk's in the hot tub, and Thor is kind of shaking the cobwebs off. They're in a room recovering, and they start to talk and figure out what's going on. Apparently the Hulk has been the Hulk for a long time, and he talks now, and he's still kind of rudimentary, but yeah, he speaks. He has a personality. It's pretty funny. Kind of sounds like a meathead. Go figure. But that's pretty cool. They go back and forth. The Valkyrie girl stops by.
I am wasted here.
They find the Quinjet, and oh yeah, that's how he gets him to turn back to Banner. They find the Quinjet, and he sees, hey kitty cat, he sees the message that the Scarlet Witch left him, and the Hulk, starts to fall asleep, turn into Banner. And then we find out when, Mark Ruffalo, the actor, is on screen, not the Hulk, Banner's back, that he's been the Hulk the whole time. He's been gone for 2 years after the end of Age of Ultron, when the Hulk flew away, and he's been the Hulk the whole time. And he also thinks that if he were to change back into the Hulk, he would be stuck. So that's fun. Then what happens? Well, somewhere around there, Valkyrie decides to help them escape. Maybe fight with Thor to help save Asgard because the people are dying. I think we find out that Hera, is that her name? Cate Blanchett? God, I'm horrible. Anyway, Odin's daughter, the villain, the goddess of death. I think her name's Hera. Anyway, she wiped out Valkyrie's units, all of her sisters, whatever. They were these awesome warriors, all female in Asgard, Asgardian female warriors, pretty awesome. And she laid waste to them, brutally slaughtering them. We actually see a flashback of that at some point, thanks to Loki. There's lots of little squabbles. Loki fights Valkyrie, Do Thor and Loki fight in this one? I don't think they do actually fight, but anyway. At some point we do see Hela, whatever her name is, the goddess of death, Cate Blanchett. She kicks some serious ass. God, she kills a bunch of people. She's awesome. Even when they get to her, she gets stabbed straight through the chest or midsection, a fatal looking blow, like by a big sword that goes all the way through her, and nothing, doesn't bother her at all, just keeps right on rolling. And I think that was the only person out of like an entire, looks like an army attacking her. She only gets hit once, and even though it's a sword going all the way through her, she just keeps right on rolling. Anyway, so Thor, convinces everybody to help him escape. They have to steal a different ship than the one Valkyrie has because hers won't make it through the Devil's Anus, which is the wormhole they have to go through. I think it has a collapsing neutron star inside, so they make sense to Science Boy. They need a ship that can withstand the gravity of that in order to get the quickest jump back to Asgard, because otherwise it would take too long and everybody would be dead. Anyway, oh yeah, Bones from Star Trek is in it, or Judge Dredd. But I don't want to get too sidetracked. So she's big and bad, killing everybody in Asgard, taking over, etc. She raises like some army of the dead, sorta, kind of help her. They're not the best fighters though, but yeah, I guess they're mindless. Anyway, they escape Sakaaro, and is starting a revolution in the process. He meets these really cool. The director is from New Zealand, I believe, and so he's got these guys with a New Zealand accent in there. They're aliens and they're pretty cool. But they stage a revolution against old Jeff Goldblum, which is part of Thor escaping and getting back to Asgard with the Hulk, or David Banner, not the Hulk, Loki and Valkyrie. Anyway, so they get back to Asgard. I am forgetting his name. The guy that was in charge of the teleportation, black dude, I think he was from The Wire, he was on The Office. big old dude, not fat, like muscular, like you need to take yourself to the gym after you look at this dude. Oh, can't think of his name. Horrible. Great actor, love him. Every time you see this guy in something, it's reason to go see it. He's a good actor. Anyway, he's been in the other Thor movies. He was exiled, I guess, and maybe Odin saw all this stuff coming and kind of exiled him on purpose. I don't know.
Attention is
But
needed elsewhere.
he is sort of helping a group of, I guess, to kind of symbolize to the audience, you know, the people of Asgard. They're leaving. Or they're definitely fleeing, and some are fighting when Thor and them show back up at Asgard to oppose the goddess of death. He helps out. Anyway, that guy's in the movie. He was exiled at first. He shows back up and helps them get back. And anyway, so they come back to Asgard, and Thor, you know, they try to fight her, and she starts kicking his ass. And he has kind of like the dream knockout sequence, Obi-Wan vision from talking to Odin, you know, Anthony Hopkins, and he says, you know, you're not as strong as her. You're stronger. You're not the god of hammers. He's like, my hammer's gold. He's like, well, you're not the god of hammers, are you? You're the god of lightning or thunder. You know, use it. And he, like Wonder Woman, he just kind of nukes her, but it doesn't kill her. It you know, gets her off of him for a second because she was beating the crap out of him, or defeating them handily by some obvious measure. And anyway, he shocks her, kind of gets her off of him, creates a little break, and somebody tells him to do it again. He's like, it didn't do anything to her. Anyway, that big red Diablo monster, it's not able to be killed. It's supposed to, it's prophesied foreseen, whatever, that it will destroy Asgard. And you know, they kind of put two and two together that, hey, you can't kill her. She gets her power from Asgard. Another, in that same flashback, I guess, you know, Asgard is not a place, it's a people. So, you know, save the people, destroy the place. She'll lose her power, and you can beat her. So that's kind of what they do. They evacuate the people, kind of like the second Avengers, Ultron. They get them on a big old flying ship that Loki provides, shows up and is a hero. Doesn't double cross this time. Doesn't do villain stuff and think only of himself. So they let that monster dude free. They have to stick him in the old eternal flame, which is right there. No, kidding. But yeah, they stick him in the eternal flame of Asgard, as was foreseen in the prophecy, and he destroys it. The goddess of death tries to battle that big, scary Diablo fire monster thing and she loses. He eventually wins, kind of blows up Asgard. Not clear if the whole planet blows up or just a city, but yeah. So they take off in their ship, and they're gonna go somewhere else. But they wind up going to Earth. We don't see it though. Anyway, before they can get there, this is the post-credit scene now. Probably, I am not a very knowledgeable fan. I watch the movies. I'm assuming it's Thanos because they're out in space and it's a gigantic ship. But anyway, somebody with a huge flying ship. I mean, they've got like the entire population of Asgard on this ship, and it's dwarfed by this thing that pops up behind them, or pops out of some kind of hyperspace behind them, whatever. Anyway, and then the second post-credit scene is Jeff Goldblum kind of getting surrounded by the inhabitants of Sakaro that he used to rule over and, you know, live all comfortably while they were struggling to get by, looking like they all lived pretty hard. And, you know, they staged the revolution when Thor escaped. So, yeah, it's kind of him getting surrounded and trying to talk his way out of it. That's the second post-credit scene. Anyway, that's the movie. As best as I can remember, in one shot. Yeehaw. Yeah, it's really funny. Moves along really quick. It's got a good pace. They kind of start to do something that I can't exactly remember what it is, and I guess you can be surprised by something when you go see that. It kind of, you start to groan inside. You're like, oh god, they're not going to do that, are they? And it winds up being like a little ploy or something. It just kind of seems like they're making fun of the sappy movies that do stuff like that. And I don't know, it was, maybe I'm reading too much into it, I don't know, but yeah, great movie, great visual effects. Go see it in 3D. It's not too much in your face, it's more the depth and stuff like that. Anyway, thanks for watching. This is Nero D Viral. Go ahead and subscribe. It doesn't cost you a thing, folks. Just press it. Anyway, enjoy the movie. Enjoy your life. I will see you next time. Nero D Viral saying good night and good luck.